Ah, I ride an electric bike through the flowers. How nice. It's completely ridiculous. I don't even want to ride it. You couldn't hear me coming.
No, not at all.
So I'm Jimmy Lewis. This is a dirt bike test, and I'm riding a bike that doesn't make any noise. Stark Varg. So, sorry Stark, this is a motocross one, and I'm riding it out on the trails, but it's my buddy Riley's bike. He said, why don't you get weird and try my Stark? And that's what I'm doing. We've altered it a little bit from standard, or Riley has, and we've been playing around with some different stuff, but I'll get into that a little bit more later. Okay, so the biggest thing that I have to deal with is this is one of the ones that has the brake over here. So I do not have a brake pedal, and I use my brake to do a lot of bike controlled stuff, and especially when I get out of control, I use that rear brake. And so in all honesty, the biggest difference that I'm noticing right now is I don't have a rear brake like I'm used to. And I know they sell them with real rear brakes or motorcycle real brakes, but I guess we'll call this mountain bike style. Other than that, it works just like a regular dirt bike. You turn the throttle and it goes. You just don't ever do any shifting. There's some things that are a little bit interesting in that when you just that you're not shifting, so you kind of, to get the speed back, sometimes you have to turn the throttle a little farther than you're used to. And I'm not kidding, I like the quiet. I've ridden a lot of pedal electric assist mountain bikes, and I like that feeling, and I think this is just going to take it to the next level. I do not mind not having the sound. It's a little bit, you hear the hiss, you're hearing that, I'm sure. You can hear my KTM 300 behind me. Riley's riding that. I can hear that more than I can hear my own bike. I will tell you that for sure, the suspension is not set up for trail riding, but it's set up as a motocross bike. So, and I rarely ever ride moto bikes on the trail, but in general it's not that bad. I'm not feeling anything awkward with the handling. It's just harsh. It bounces, deflects a little bit, but that's to be expected and no different than any other motocross bike that they have a trail version. When the suspension is set up properly, it doesn't feel like anything in the chassis is awkward. But I will tell you that although the bike scales out being kind of heavy, when you're riding it, it doesn't necessarily feel that way. And when you're when you're maneuvering it around, but when you would get what would be like high RPMs, where the motor would be revving a lot, this bike doesn't pick up any weight from that reciprocal stuff. A little bit, mostly probably from the wheels, but it kind of maintains that same weight. It really doesn't feel any heavier than, your typical 4-stroke. For sure, 2-strokes feel lighter because they just don't have the, we'll call it the mass. And some of that's also reciprocal with the engines as well. But in all honesty, especially to you haters, it's really not that much different. And if I want to ride it in a different mode, a more power mode, I just push this button here up like that. That's mode 2. This is mode 5. That'd be stupid. It's completely ridiculous. I don't even want to ride it in that. And I don't know what he has mode 5 set at, how many horsepower, but it's plenty. And on mode 3, we're playing around with a super high regen. Mostly to see what it does on downhills. And I already can tell it's going to be too much. But just like computers, you know, you can tune them and program them a little bit. Okay, so we just put it in reverse mode, so it won't roll down the hill because it doesn't really have a parking brake, but watch this. I don't want to go down that trail anymore. So I'm playing around with the regen just to see like how it works, because you know, right now we have it set at like 70% on map 4, and then map 3 it's full. I just switched down, and you can feel a difference in how much drag there is on the rear wheel. And it's almost like I'm not using any brakes going down this, and it's fairly steep. You know, it's steep enough to where I have to cut switchbacks in the hill. And that maximum regen really allows a nice controlled descent on stuff. And as easy as it is to switch the modes, I would definitely have a mode that had like less regen for normal riding and then a ton of regen for when you're coming down something like this, and that way you don't have to really use the brakes. And technically we should be charging the battery back up.
So in the end, I am not impressed by the Stark Varg, and not because it isn't a really good motorcycle. It's because it just met the expectations that they said they were going to deliver on. This one was, like I said, the motocross bike. We were riding it on trails. They have an enduro version. I'd love to get my hands on one of those and try it. It's a good motorcycle, and it's different, and you're going to have to realize electric is coming. The technology is getting better and better, and it has capabilities that gas doesn't, and it has disadvantages that gas provides. Like, how are you going to pour a little bit of electricity into your bike if it does run out of fuel? Don't worry about it. These are all things that will get sorted out. But I appreciate the technology that's inside of this vehicle. I'm interested to play with it and learn about it more, and I think as this evolves, it's going to get better and better, just like gas has, just like 2-strokes have, just like 4-strokes have. It's just a different way of having fun on 2 wheels, and I'm not complaining. I like this bike. Riley will hopefully keep us updated on, you know, the user experience. He's had a couple little issues with it, nothing too bad, but this is what you do. You test dirt bikes, you learn about them, and hopefully we all get better motorcycles because of it. So thanks, Riley, and with this, we will see you out on the trail. Cheers.
I'm alive though.